What's up, everybody? Welcome to Turner Warped, Season 2, Episode 2. Hello. Hi. There will be mature language here. I hope you have prepared yourselves appropriately by taking shelter in a bunker or some kind of protective atmosphere or bubble where...
Or filling your ears with liquid lead.
Yes. Whichever you prefer, any of those things works just fine. Except the lead thing. Don't do that. That's bad.
No, try the lead. It's great. Or the anti-siren cure, like just putting like liquid wax in your ears.
Sure.
Drinking bleach also solves a lot of problems.
Yeah, I heard it's good for rickets.
I heard that.
Don't do any of those things. These are all horrible plans suggested to you by horrible people. Don't do them. Those are bad things. Welcome to the stream. How's everybody doing? Hi.
Good.
I'm doing like this.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
Tuesday, is it possible for you to do anything and not be adorable?
Impossible.
This.
Impossible.
Maybe pooping.
I got you covered.
No,
Fuzzy's thinking. Just let's take a second and appreciate the fact that Fuzzy's right now trying to think about Tuesday pooping.
I mean, I think...
Poop like a rabbit. It takes about 3.2 seconds. I go in. People are amazed. I go in, I poop, and then I come right back out. And they're like, you didn't poop? Because my bathroom's like right in the living room, so I poop when my friends are here. I'm like, I gotta go poop. And they're like, you can't have pooped. I'm like, how long does it take you to poop?
Good, powerful muscles down there. You can like suction cup yourself to a wall.
I only know I poop fast because other people comment on it. It's like, otherwise I just thought it was normal.
Now all I'm picturing is, you know those Garfields on car windows? But it's Tuesday, but...
Wow.
Welcome to the stream, everybody.
Yes, welcome to the stream. I think it's been a rough week for a lot of people out there. There's especially if you're living in the US, it's been a rough friggin' week for a lot of people. So hopefully we could sort of bring a smile to some people's faces today. If you've been sort of suffering or had family members or whatever that have been sort of suffering through some of the BS that's going on out there right now, it's not fun. We got fires in the Pacific Northwest that are horrendous. We got all these horrible hurricanes bearing down on the South and whatnot. It's been rough. It's been rough, I think, for a lot of people. And I know Florida's about to get hit, so hopefully if you have any family down there or if you yourself are down in Florida, hopefully you're getting the fuck out of Florida soon. Or you've got like a good plan or something to deal with what's going on. Regardless, I hope you stay safe because it's not a good situation. This has been a bad week, I think, for just a lot of people. So,
way to date the episode there, Mark.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it does have a number attached to it, and there are dates that are literally below the episode when we post it on YouTube. So I'm not.
They'll put this in the e-text.
We need to stay relevant, all right?
Like, this is what people around the world thought when Hurricane Irma hit.
Yeah.
And they'll see me going, there was flying alligators going snop.
A shark flew up my bum.
Conversations about car anuses.
Yeah, when corgis bark, they make a bork sound, and apparently when alligators snap, they make a snop sound, according to
Snop.
That's actual science, though, let's be fair.
Yep.
Fair
You ever
enough.
meet an alligator, you say, hello, Mr. Alligator, and he'll go, how's it going?
No, if you ever meet an alligator, you go, Jesus Christ, an alligator, my fucking life.
See, I like doing things like
See,
that
if I
because
saw
people
an
expect
alligator-
like a good punchline, and then you don't deliver one, and then you get to enjoy that disappointment.
See, the thing is, if I saw an alligator, I'd be like, well, is that a crocodile, or...
No. Teeth on the outside. Is it no teeth on? Teeth on the outside.
Everyone has teeth on the inside.
No.
They're in
Like,
Florida,
Teeth
it's
on the
an
outside
alligator.
are just tusks.
I'm pretty
I'm
sure.
thinking of rhinos.
No. Like crocodiles have got like teeth that stick out of their mouths, and alligators don't, or possibly the other way around. I'm
The
not
other way
sure.
around.
Not
Alligators are
Just
the
reason.
broad, flat head,
Yeah.
and the crocs have the narrower.
Well, I would need to see two next to each other to make a comparison.
Oh no, you
The
know that
alligators-
broad. That
Yeah.
broad.
The other
Alligators
one
are a
in
bit
swimming
less-
pools and
Yeah,
shit.
the alligators are the ones that are a bit less aggressive, whereas, a big saltwater croc is just like, oh, hello, I'm going to tear your arm off now. Yay.
Yeah. Yum.
Alligator's like, leave me alone or I will tear your arm off.
Still none the wiser.
Poke it and see.
Yeah.
Like so many things in life.
In case you guys are wondering why Bobby looks so surprised, if he was here, he wouldn't be surprised by the conversation. I mean, he's just used to it at this point. But unfortunately,
Yeah.
Bobby will not be joining us today. It is, in fact, his birthday, and he's not doing fantastic. So what I'd love for people to do right now is I'd love for people to head on over to Bobby's Twitter, which is at Iron Chef Bob. Just Iron Chef Bob.
Yeah, let's link them if we
Head
can.
on over there, and yeah, I'm gonna post that. I'm gonna post that up. And I want you guys to go tweet him some love, just some positive stuff for Mr. Iron Chef Bob, and just hopefully brighten his day a little bit because he's not doing great. He's just not sleeping, and it's not a great situation. So yeah, let's go ahead and paste his link in chat here. Everybody go send Bobby some love.
Yeah, not sleeping is kind of the worst. If it's never happened to you out there, just understand that like nothing in life seems okay if you can't sleep. Literally, just existing is like the world is dancing on your nerves. It's not cool. So good vibes.
Hello, I'm a
Good way.
literal zombie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
an irritated zombie.
I've suffered from insomnia before, and just like if you've seen Fight Club and Edward Norton.
I've had a kid. That's basically involuntary insomnia. I'm going to scream all night for no reason. Brilliant. I've got
feel
to
like-
not murder you.
I
I
feel
had
like
a girlfriend
all
like that once.
I feel like all insomnia is involuntary, though. To be fair, Fuzzy.
You know what I mean, though? It's like externally inflicted insomnia rather than just your brain going, no.
Yeah. Edward Norton quoting Edward Norton from Fight Club. It feels like you're never really asleep and you're never really awake when you've got it. It's just everything just kind of feels
Yeah, bad.
kind of not great.
Bad.
Yep.
I should probably get in roll 20.
That
That
would be
might
a
help
good plan.
things
That'd be a good
A
plan.
little bit.
Oh my! I wasn't the last in. Fucking
No. Yeah, no. I'm not even there yet.
You're not even the second to last in.
Damn.
Fuzzy.
What?
I'm in now.
Roll
Oh,
20.
roll 20, roll.
Wrecked.
I
Fucking
was
wrecked.
literally just pulling up the link as you said
Uh-huh.
things. I
Gotcha.
stopped because I was confused as to what people were.
Gotcha.
Something was missing. Not last.
Lucky for you guys, Fuzzy's here.
I exist to make other people feel better about themselves. Okay, that's my role in life. I'm okay with it.
Sounds
Oh,
good.
bless
At least I'm
Well-
not fuzzy.
What about the people who want that role and can't do it as well as you can? You're therefore making them not feel better. You make
What
them feel
role?
worse. But then maybe that makes them feel better that you're not as good at the job.
Chicken before the egg.
Yeah.
I
One of
got what
those
you were trying to
situations.
say and not
I'm
doing.
having an existential crisis right now. Thanks.
I'm sorry. How could you have a chicken without an egg?
Well,
Maybe you had a
Depends.
dinosaur and its baby just mutated into a chicken. Huh? Huh?
yeah,
You don't.
I mean,
That's not how evolution works. You don't just go. I'm a chicken now.
Might do. You never know. I blame the aliens.
That's only an anime, Fuzzy.
Chicken.
they don't say, there's not enough information for that. They say chicken or the egg. What kind of egg? Dinosaur eggs? Yeah, before the chicken. Chicken egg? Well, how do you define a chicken egg? Is a chicken egg an egg
Didn't
laid by a
define
chicken?
egg.
Or is it an egg containing a chicken?
Whose bum did it come out of, cloaca?
Or is an egg laid by a chicken that also contains a chicken? Because then the chicken came first.
Also, can I just say how weird the concept of
question
a
doesn't
cloaca really is?
specify that it's a chicken egg. It just
It
says egg.
egg.
So
Yeah.
the egg obviously came first. We solved it. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in today. We've solved all the problems in the world.
Yeah,
Yes.
pretty much.
Yeah.
That'll do
Peachy is now going to dissolve the hurricanes with his mind. Go.
Done.
Oh,
Oh, God.
Oh, can we take a break?
He laid an egg instead. He pooped. Oh dear.
What came first, the peachy or the egg? Well, peachy because he lasts about 10 seconds. So I hear.
Wow! Fucking
Hot
savage!
diggity dog.
I'm
That's
sorry,
what Peachy says when he finishes. I'm diggity dog.
Oh, I'm not
I'm
sure
sorry.
where this is going.
I feel really mean, but I just had to go there because I could.
Because you had to.
Because
Because
the
I was burned.
opportunity
Okay.
was available. Immediately
Yeah.
you need to pounce on it.
Okay.
Of course, right?
All right then.
Me and Fuzzy have both heard each other having sex.
Yeah, it's really fucking
Oh,
weird. Let's not
wow.
remember that. Let's
Not remember that.
Let's have a moment of silence for
This
their
is why
sanity.
I drink. This is
For
why
the
I
peace
drink.
of mind that was lost during those occasions. Permanently lost.
Yeah.
Could never get that back.
Peachy's Coke can is full of vodka.
All right, so let's why don't we actually try to get started with the show thing here. Believe it or not, we eventually get to the point where we play role-playing games. I know it sounds crazy. But just
But it
you
does
gotta
happen.
you gotta just take the deep breath and you gotta let it
Yeah.
happen. Gotta let it happen. So let's go a little bit into what exactly we do here. In case you guys haven't seen the show before, this is probably a good time to start because we're pretty early into a new season of the show with new characters and a whole new story and setting.
Throw bubble, you have one. Don't get rid of it. Oh, you deprived us. I see how it is. Anyway,
What?
he had a throat bubble and then he swallowed it away. It sounded really cool for a second there, though. I'll remember it.
So this egg.
Is it golden? Sorry.
I'm so confused.
Wax
I will-
desperate to play some role play. He's been
I
waiting
will
all week for this.
STF you right now. I'm doing it.
We're just breaking his game again. Sorry.
No, I role played last night. I did some Neon Scream last night.
Oh, is that back on?
Yeah,
miss out?
yeah,
Are
you
you
did.
just there going, basically sat there going, why can't you be like those other nice role players?
Yeah, no, they have almost exactly the same conversations. Every single role-playing campaign that I've been a part of has somehow had the exact same conversations. And believe it or not, there were topics of discussion about fucking eggs. It was a thing that happened. So we weren't too far off from this one.
Tenga.
Yeah. Biology fact.
What the fuck
mainly
is that?
eggs.
Oh, you don't know what a Tenga is? Oh, Google it.
Oh,
No,
I'm good.
My
All right.
I think-
innocent
wait,
little
I think
brain.
I've just grasped what it could possibly be. I'm gonna.
Yeah,
It's
no
a
thanks.
masturbatory aid for men.
Interesting. No, it's actually Tenga's a company.
Well, so,
It's a Japanese brand.
Actually, yeah, I should say it's a masturbatory aid for people with penises.
Yeah.
Because not all men have penises, not all penises have men.
Images.
no. You know what I mean?
Something
Oh,
like that.
it
Not
actually
all
kind of just looks
penises,
like a.
hashtag.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a deodorant roll-on or something. It's pretty inconspicuous.
Congratulations,
The egg
guys.
ones are like 14 quid a wank. Jesus.
I know, right? I mean,
New-
even if
new
you fucking
low.
wash it out and use it a couple more times, it's still ridiculous.
No, you destroy. Anyway,
I mean, I destroy most.
I really want to get onto roleplay, but I
Oh,
can't
wait a minute.
stop myself.
What is
Wax
this
face
one?
is just a fucking picture. It's great.
What is this one?
I
US Tenga. Oh, it was one
They're
for the
disposable,
US
totally worth.
sometimes.
Oh, always is vouching for
herding cats. Herding cats. That's exactly what it is to be a DM. In case you guys
Shiny.
are curious, in case you've ever been interested in having your own campaign before, it is exactly like herding cats. That's what you do. You herd cats. Load up
Oh.
Google and type in herding cats. There are plenty of YouTube videos of people trying to organize cats, and they just walk all the way and wander
Yeah.
around.
So there's all these
They do.
sex toys, and then I can see a random picture of like pork rinds.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
how I do it. I mean, have I been doing it wrong? Anyway,
Oh.
so believe it or not, we do eventually get to the role playing. Yes, so this show, this show is a space opera role playing game show. We are playing the What's Old is New system, as Geek Dice was so kind to paste into the chat there. You can see that we are the official channel for the What's Old is New system.
Somehow.
Morris regrets that decision every time I talk to him. He says something that just, I mean, the disappointment. He tries so hard to not sound utterly and completely defeated.
Yeah.
But it's just, you can sense it. It's
Bleeds
just,
through.
it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not good.
No.
So thank you, Morris, for making this the official channel of the What's Old is New RPG, even though it's been a regretful journey ever since. But if you guys are curious about the role-playing game that we're playing, the What's Old is New system, you can pick it up for $10 over on Drive Through RPG. It's super great, especially for making the kind of settings and homebrew stuff where you create a very sandboxy kind of environment for your players. I think it's really good for that. So if that's what you're looking for, if you're looking for sci-fi, space opera type stuff, hard sci-fi as well, I mean, this is a really good system to do that kind of thing. But yeah. So I think it's time for us to kind of let's get started with the actual show. If you haven't seen the show before and you're tuning in for the first time, last episode was the first episode of a new season, if you don't count the character creation and whatnot, setting creation in episode 0. And we got to sort of determine what's the characters were, what their roles were, and what exactly was going on. They are on board a colony ship, the colony ship Arcadia. The colony ship Arcadia was heading away from a pretty serious disaster that seemed to destroy the Sol system, the system that we as human beings are living in right now. Earth was destroyed, and people sort of had time to evacuate. It was sort of a slow destruction of the system. So they pooled resources together. Large companies invested in these colony ships to expand the peoples that are part of the Galactic Alliance. Several different races that sort of banded together to explore new worlds and research this horrible problem, this nothing that was a sort of interdimensional fusing of realities that was kind of destroying our dimension, turning into a sort of black void of nothingness, even less than, say, a black hole. The point of these colony ships was to set up new colonies far enough away from the anomaly, the phenomenon, to research it and also to help reestablish the races in new homes. But when it was time for them to take the Tachyon Conduit Gateway, which was transporting the colony ships away from the system, something went wrong. The colony ship Arcadia took heavy damage to its engines and to the ship itself, taking some casualties, including the captain of the ship, Captain Panel, a Borean who was in control of things, or was in control of things. He passed away in the last episode, and well, the crew and the peoples aboard the Arcadia are just trying to deal with the problem and keep the ship afloat and make sure it doesn't blow up. The Tachyon core was suffering from a containment breach, and luckily from some from some quick thinking from the chief engineer and several of the maintenance staff and engineers on hand, including one Betty Bahoop.
Right.
We're able to keep the containment active around the Tachyon core and allowed it to still function. After saving the Tachyon core and saving some people's lives, they did, however, find out from the executive officer aboard the ship, Commander Valest. She told everyone that they were way far off on their course. Apparently, instead of traveling 2,000 miles away from the Sol system, 2,000 light years away from the Sol system, they went a bit further than that. They went 70,000 light years away to the other side of the galaxy. Far away from home, they are now trying to figure out their place in this galaxy and see where the journey takes them. So let's go around the room and let's introduce our players and their characters. Bobby's not here today, so we're going to start off with Foze. Why don't you tell people who you are and who your character is?
Oh God, we're out of order. I can't deal, man. Right. Hi, I'm Fuzzy Freaks. I do fuzzy things over on twitch.tv/Fuzzy Freaks. Recently, I've been playing a lot of Dragon Age 2, and I did a create stream today, and I made it. Well, I painted a thing. Look, this bowl was broken, and I made Kisugi, and it was good. If you don't know what it is, fucking Google it. And yeah, I'm good though. Thank you. And yes, I play Betty Bahoop, who is the Borean sort of maintenance staff / engineer type, and yeah, she's like, all right, I'm a Borean, hello. And she'll hit on anything that's not nailed down, and you know, any basically anything, you know. The water coolers have reported her for harassment multiple times. Right. Aren't you a nice, cool... Aren't you a long, cool drink of water, all right? Hey. Please, I don't know what's going on, but it's making me uncomfortable.
Please remove your wrench
Ew.
from my spigot.
Please stop licking my nozzle. It's... no. Oh, no.
I am a robot. I cannot give consent.
Ew.
Oh, wow.
I expect a lot of technology probably has like Borean sensors on it, anti-tinker sensors.
I need an adult.
Speaking of needing an adult,
Hi
Tuesday?
guys. Hi. My name is Tuesday Gray to be exact. But today I'm going to be playing Nova, who is a clone with a bad reputation, but really high skill. The bad reputation piece will maybe become obvious at some point, or the reason behind it. Really high gun skills and antique gun collecting, and just overall likes guns. And if you would like to get a look at Nova, if I can get permission to post a link in chat,
You're good.
I will share with you guys. This is exactly what Nova looks like. This was done by a buddy of mine who I don't know if he wants to be outed, so I'm not going to say his name, but there are a lot of you in chat that will know who did this. But if he wants to be known, he'll pipe up on Twitter, but check that out. It's super amazing. That's what she looks like. And I'm ready to get up to some shenanigans as Nova. Rip Captain.
Okay.
I think Nova looks like Scarlett Johansson.
Yep.
So like every single bloke on the ship is just like, and most of the women.
Speaking of looking like Scarlett Johansson, Zaganagas.
Hey, everybody. I'm Scargus. And I used to look like Scarlett Johansson until a horrible cheese grater incident. I play Freak. That's what everybody calls him. He's just gotten used to it by now. But his mom calls him Simon. So you can call him that if you like. He's a warped human, which means he was born / grew up very near to a black hole, and that can do some strange things to people. It made him particularly potent in psionics from a young age, and some complicated family stuff, and a little bit of time sort of in the military, and Now he's aboard the Arcadia with this crazy bunch. After there was a lot of screaming in his head, and then a lot of screaming outside of his head during the jump. So we'll see how the ship recovers, and we'll see what awaits us 70,000 light years away from Earth.
Speaking of Earth, Peachy.
It's true. I am from Earth. Hi. Hello, fellow
Lies.
humans. I mean, us. Hello, me. I'm Peachy Pixelate. I will be playing Dr. Dick Icarus. Quite possibly the most intelligent man ever. So it's going to be a bit of a stretch to roleplay, but I can't wait to do it. Speaking of can't wait to do it, or him,
In a way, I'm glad Bobby's not able to be here today, for I fear this may have pushed him over the edge.
Oh, come on. We've done plenty of things that have pushed Bobby over the edge before. We've determined that there are many ledges after the edge that you just don't know about until you fall off the cliff.
Yeah.
I'd love to read his journal.
Sadly
Today,
true.
Peachy made a joke about starfish anuses.
Hi, everybody.
Fit that at
I'm
the
not
end.
a starfish anus. I'm Wax Steven. I am the GM of Doom, and I will be dragging these guys kicking and screaming through the adventure today. We will see where space takes them. I'm curious. Because, I mean, pretty much anything can happen. We are in a sort of area that's just plain unknown to many of these people. So I think it's time to kind of hop into things. Let's get started. Let's get started. So, what I'd like to do is let's bring the map up here. What I'd like to do is to sort of go over some things. I feel like there's some time that has passed since this, the last announcement that was kind of given to the crew, that you guys had, it was announced that you guys have been, 70,000 light years off course. It's been probably, let's say, a day from where we were last episode, to the point where, like the sick bay was kind of like overrun with emergencies and such, and like triage has kind of been set up and gotten people, like at least the emergency treatment that they need. You've been pretty overwhelmed there, Freak. The whole experience has been very draining on you. You probably have gotten to the point where you passed out from just complete exhaustion. Even if you weren't, say, outright tired, it was just kind of exhaustion. Just immediately just passed out, probably like head against the wall and just kind of flopped over onto the ground. You wake up to a sort of familiar sound. There's more of the screaming in your head. You get these like almost seizure-like convulsions, and you sort of like wake yourself up with them, and the screaming just kind of subsides. You wake up. The sick bay, there's people kind of moaning and groaning and stuff, and it's packed. There's kind of people set up like in corners and such. The beds and whatnot, the actual like the medical bays themselves are kind of cleared from people, but wherever they can, there's bodies kind of propped up, and there's probably more than a few staff that are either running on way too much coffee or some kind of stimulant to keep them awake, or they've just passed out outright. As far as like the actual crew that are set up to the sick bay, what do you think there are? I mean, if there's like, if there's 3,000 crew, like 6,000 passengers or so, what do you think we've got like in the sick bay? What would you say?
But probably 50, a staff of 50 total that
Yeah.
work in a few shifts.
And it's been like everybody, like all hands on deck for the last like full day of intense work and stuff. And it's been pretty overwhelming. The ship in general is pretty worse for wear. The passageways and stuff, halls and whatnot, lots of debris and stuff that's kind of being cleared out and brought to like processing to get repurposed for the replicators and whatnot. There are replicators aboard the ship. So any kind of debris or anything would get reprocessed to sort of the matter essentially just getting repurposed for whatever. So there's crews that are kind of like working to just kind of clear debris. Everybody here, I think, is probably pretty exhausted. What do you think you guys did once you heard this news that you were 70,000 light years away?
So
What was the reaction?
I don't have anybody that I would have been missing, I think. So for me personally, it probably would have been like a little bit of fear, but some excitement and just kind of like, holy crap, Captain dead, middle of nowhere. Now what?
So, I mean, all in all, you guys haven't even been aboard the ship for very long. So there hasn't been like an extreme amount of time where you've had the opportunity to sort of like form a lot of bonds with people. But I forgot what we said in terms of like the actual like Navy and crew members and stuff, how long they've been aboard the ship. Let me see if I've got that in my notes somewhere.
So I wouldn't have been too worried. It would just be more interesting for me. And I probably would have gone back to the lab to try and turn off lockdown and figure out how the drive could have actually done this.
Okay. So, make me a logic check plus physics or astro navigation, or it wouldn't really be engineering. I'm going to say this is more physics. Okay, 25. You're running through all these different possibilities, and there's probably been some like heated arguments too, because like other people like in the lab that are kind of dealing with similar questions and problems maybe have just kind of walked past and said that like whatever it is, whatever your equations are, they're like, there's probably been some like heated arguments like, no, that's impossible, you can't, there's no way we could have traveled 70,000 light years, this is impossible. The only way that something like this could have happened would be is if somehow the conduit that was supposed to have been created was somehow altered in some way. The conduit very possibly was elongated somehow to this new point, and the possibility of that happening is so remote and basically impossible that like you keep going back to the drawing board. It's like it doesn't make sense. That can't be what happened. There's no way that the conduit could have been changed. The whole purpose of everyone creating that gate nearby Earth was so that it started the conduit in the right way. The tachyon conduit system that you have aboard the ship can't generate the power necessary to create a gate or to have the energy required to travel all the way across the galaxy. There's just no way. It doesn't. None of the numbers make sense.
Also, logic is my hook attribute. So that means 6s explode, right? Do you need me to roll any more?
Let's take a look at the rules on that, because I actually
think that was errata.
Yeah.
I think it's the because there's two types of hooks. There's a hobby hook and there's like a personality hook. I think they only explode if it's hobby hook or something like that.
Where is the errata? Let's pull that.
Well,
up.
my hook attribute is lodge.
God, so annoying.
I think it might have been in the Universal Upgrades one or one of those as well.
Oh. Also, I don't know if this counts for my bachelor degree, because I get a 1d6 bonus to attempt to learn information about a subject, but it does specifically say access to a library or data network.
Well, there's definitely a library or data network aboard the ship. That's for sure. The difference here is, let's see what your actual hook is, because I thought it was the haikus. Yeah, you totter around and compose haikus.
It is haikus.
Yeah. That's when the dice.
So if I'm doing something to a haiku, well, here's the bachelor's degree one. That's the bachelor's degree, so an extra 2. Doesn't really.
Okay.
boost
Yeah.
it.
The numbers don't make sense. The possibility of this happening is so beyond remote that it's impossible. It's like 0.0000000000000001% chance of this happening. You know what I mean? Like, it's so remote.
So we're all arguing, and I'm like tapping the whiteboard with my pen. The math is there. Look.
But that's impossible.
No,
Dr.
not.
Icarus, it doesn't make sense. We are clearly, judging by the star charts, we are where we are.
Yes, but the math does not lie. Maths do not change.
Perhaps our
The
situation
integer.
has
Look at
changed.
the integer.
What about the dimension? I don't understand. I was expecting something to do with the void or the nothing. I'm curious. I would wager perhaps a dinner of sorts that something to do with the nothing. Preposterous.
Look, the nothing was nowhere near us, okay? The math is there. It works. The math works. Just it's very improbable.
They're all just kind of dumbfounded. You get like a communication to the lab. You can see that it's coming from command.
Oh, what the hell do they want now?
Probably want us to fix something. Broop. Yes, science.
Hello, to whom am I speaking? This is Commander
Yes.
Velest.
Dr. Dick Icarus.
Dr. Icarus, we've received some troubling information from our scans.
I see.
Perhaps we can send some of this data to you to pour over. We are not sure if there's a malfunction with our computer or if there is something else that's happened that we are unaware of. Frankly, it's very troubling, and we need every available laboratory to analyze the data and see if our sensors are mistaken.
Yes, yes, send it over. Any variable that we could possibly have will help greatly.
We're sending it over now. You start to like see the communications. Say basically, whenever you get like a communications and some information is sent over to the lab, you can send it to different like terminals and whatnot. There's probably just like you probably have like each lab station or whatever has like a terminal, and you have just like you just hit the button and you can send it to the different terminals or something on the communication relay. Do you send it to like everybody?
What does the information refer to?
It refers to the positions of the stars, and
So like navigation stuff.
it's not just navigation. It's also approximate time. From what you can tell, it is 823 years after you left.
That's impossible.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it out to all the physics heads, and then I'll probably can I send out a memo as well to basically all staff. You basically need to change what your job is while we figure this out.
They're clever people. Science is science.
So you get like a follow-up communication from the science officer of the ship. Let's bring you guys over here. The science officer, Lieutenant Scan, an android who has a sort of humanoid kind of appearance, sort of white, very, very white porcelain type skin.
Data.
Mostly like milk, whereas Data had that kind of like greenish kind of complexion. This is
Yeah, Data had some gold.
Yeah, it's
going.
like a goldish green kind of thing going. This is very much a sort of milky white kind of look with sort of like white irises and just like a silver kind of hair color. Just kind of like short kind of hair. I feel like it's probably, I would say it's not like necessarily a buzz cut, but it's probably like a little bit longer. Like it almost looks like a military kind of cut. You would get like a communication from Scan, where just the communication panel just.
Yes, hello?
This is Lieutenant Scan, science
Ah, yes.
officer. Hello, Dr. Icarus.
Yes, hello, Scan.
We have sent information over to you to be analyzed regarding our current approximate stardate and time frame that we are working with.
Yes, these numbers must be incorrect. Has a level 3 diagnostic been run?
I have run 4 level 3 diagnostics since our accumulation of this data. I have checked it over personally, and I will be visiting the laboratory shortly to help assist with the processing of this information.
I mean, I know that Scan is flawless, right? One diagnostic from him is worth 7 from another person, right?
Yeah, the only way that he would have run multiple diagnostics is if, like, Commander Valesta ordered him to.
This is troubling. Yes, we will see you soon. This is...
And I forget to turn it off because there is a puzzle that I get to solve. I just kind of walk away from the comm unit on the wall and just start muttering about the time and the numbers.
The numbers, what do they mean?
So, you spend some time kind of doing that, and the scene for you, Nova, has been a lot different. You've been physically just kind of like worn out because you've been helping a lot of sort of trapped people around the ship.
Sure.
And just kind of like, I want to say that you've probably only gotten like 2 hours or so of rack time, like in the last like 24 to 36 hours.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, it's been brutal. You've just been able to get in like some cat naps basically while stuff's been going on. A lot of your job has been to sort of funnel people into away from like dangerous areas and sort of taking different patrols of the ship to kind of make sure that people are staying away from vital systems and that there's no more like looting and shit like that. Like the promenade has been sort of like your like home base for the last why don't we say just 30 hours?
Sure.
It's probably the time that's passed since we've last talked. Yeah, it's been a very tiring situation. You've met up with several like store owners on the promenade that were kind of like panicked that some things have been stolen and whatnot. What do you think has been like the most extreme case of like theft or damage here in the promenade, would you say?
So I would imagine that there might be, like in any group of humans, there might be a delinquent group of teenagers that just sort of live a little bit on the edge of the society that we have on the ship. And they would have found each other in the midst of this.
It would have been sort of like new, right? Like this is kind of like you guys haven't been aboard the ship for very long. I think we sort of said it was maybe like a month that everybody's kind of been aboard the ship.
Yeah, and I feel like almost kind of like the bullies in an 80s movie, they would have noticed each other and noticed, they would be already clicking.
Do they call
together.
themselves the Edgelords?
Yeah, they're definitely the Edgelords.
Tunnel Lords rule.
They rather than being any form of distressed by this, and they might have been, but like a proper bully wouldn't have shown it. They would have been excited at the opportunity that it provided. So I feel like they've gotten into the worst crime. I feel like is they've maybe gotten into some kind of store of alcohol or something like that. Substances, not the medical staff is crawling all over the med stuff, but would there be some kind of like I imagine there'd be a few restaurants and stuff. I kind of picture them with their hands on a bar and a keg and some bottles and junk, and which would fuel them to further mischief and maybe have knocked over a couple of stores and kind of gone after stuff that they were interested in, because I think they probably can't get to the weapons and the drugs. So whatever is available in the promenade that is closest to that, they would have been getting after.
Okay. Yeah, there's definitely like several like restaurants and stuff throughout the promenade. What would you say the name of this restaurant is?
The Side. It's called The Side, and for some reason it's just kind of not the seedy place because there isn't one, but it's the busier place on like what would be perceived to be like a weekend night, or like almost the closest thing that we have to a nightclub.
Okay, so they probably have like some kind of like small hollow like karaoke or something.
Yeah.
Like some kind of sing along with your favorite pop star or whatever.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
That'd be hilarious. Yeah, so maybe we find them in there just like sauced and wearing all their favorite clothes from whatever stores and just kind of messing with the technology that's available.
Okay, so you've got like a probably like a, I don't want to say it's like a platoon, but I don't know what the proper
little
terminology.
team.
Yeah, you've got like just a little team that
Squad.
you're a member of, and you're definitely not the highest ranked person there.
Nope. That reputation.
Who's the sort of like leader of your little team here?
Let's call him Pop. P-O-P.
Okay.
That's not because he's old and friendly. It's because he's an Ogron, and that's the sound people makes when he squeezes.
Yes. Yes.
I was actually thinking that I wanted the leader to be an Ogron.
Awesome. So it sounds like Ogron Pop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Oh, you don't want to know.
Yeah, so you found these sort of like troublemakers basically set up like they sort of like like a little gambling area probably, like inside inside like the probably just like one of the corridors or something that's probably less traveled. It was probably covered up by debris. Frankly, like one of the areas that people were told not to go to, because you very well could have a problem. Oh, there's definitely a Swigglethrax pub. There's a Swigglethrax pub for sure.
Oh, hell yeah.
But is there a Swigglethrax video?
I mean, could be.
Come on. Look, Swigglethrax with the triple X, okay?
That
Come
shit
on.
has gone viral.
Come on. I was proud of that. I want somebody to acknowledge that because I was proud of that. God damn it.
That's good.
Okay, so somebody in chat acknowledge that because I'm not going to.
I did.
So yes. So this group of edgelords has been sort of holed up in this corridor that is kind of, basically has been deemed off limits, and they're straight up like, you can see that they've like probably replicated some dice and they're playing some kind of version of craps or something.
Yeah.
They're dressed up like in all this like clothing that's like wrong sizes, for like different races, you know.
Labels still on.
Yeah. They're wearing like as many hats as possible, just to
They've
show
got a
that.
couple of hoverboards.
Do they have those jackets where you put them on the sleeves, just go?
And there's everything has a fidget spinner on it. It's just, it's awful. The worst kind of hell known to man.
Yep.
So they're playing some craps and whatnot, and Pop says,
All right, no squishing, no popping. Everyone line up. Let's show these kids what it means to steal.
and he just, like you guys just kind of like line up. He says,
Stun batons activate.
Oh dear.
It's basically like the stun things from Demolition Man. You know, those little stun baton things. They're like cattle prods. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And it like turns like a fucking knob on it and activates these things. You guys just kind of like line up at the end of this corridor, and you can see these kids basically take notice as soon as the Ogron starts to talk. Several start to point like, fuck off, this is our corridor, this is Edgelords' property.
Oh man, I would probably be suppressing a laugh actually, because that's they're going down. I also kind of felt like what else might be going on is there could be a higher level officer's daughter among this group of like dudes, and she looks out of place and a little bit uncomfortable, but like she feels like she'll break her cool if she leaves. I don't know what her name is, but I feel like she's there too. And when they start mouthing off, she might side with them, but I don't think she really wants to be there.
Okay.
Ayla.
Ayla.
Ayla's
Is
there.
it Chief Engineer Van Zandt's daughter?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of a hard ass.
Oh yeah. Yeah, which is why she'd be out here at all, right? She's definitely rebelling a bit, but
You said it was Ayla?
Ayla. Her name is Monday.
Yeah, and I feel like Ayla is probably like part Venetian as well.
Uh-huh.
I think Chief Engineer Van Zandt's wife is Venetian.
Okay.
And yeah, she's part Venetian. So she probably, I don't know if she's hairless, but she probably has like really short hair. Probably
Does she look like one of those hairless Mexican dog things? Just a little.
No. I think she's I think she's probably just got like really short hair. Like it probably just doesn't grow past a certain length. She probably has like a pixie cut or something, and it just doesn't grow past that.
Sure.
And yeah, she's just kind of like, she's quite obviously like held up with like one of the people here. She says, "Oh, go away! The Edgelords rule this corridor!" And she's just like trying to like fit in with everybody quite obviously and doing a terrible job. Like they've totally just brought her into the fold just so they can have somebody that's like reasonably higher up in their group, you know? Like it's just her like it's not necessarily like a hostage, but it's just kind of like
Almost.
yeah, you know, it's like she's just there because she is the chief engineer's daughter for all intents and purposes.
Totally.
Yeah, the fall person for sure. So we're gonna say, what's his rank for Pop? Let's pull up the ranks because I'm awful at them.
Pop has seen some things, folks.
Where were the rankings again? Do you remember where those were, Zagonicus?
No, but I could probably find them pretty quick.
Ranks. Let's see. I'm just trying to remember what the military ranks are for the Marines. Ranks 49. Okay, so he is probably a Lance Corporal. Pop, that is. And he just kind of says,
This is Lance Corporal Pop. What are you doing here, Alea Van Zandt?
"Go away! I'm an edgelord!"
Oh, Jesus.
And he says,
I must bring you in, teach you lesson. Advance!
and you guys, upon hearing that, you take like 5 steps forward. The edgelord just kind of like, they just like, the person that's like rolling the dice just like throws them down the hall. They kind of like bounce off of Pop's chest and like fall to the ground. Can you see what the numbers came up as?
Oh.
I need a heart 8. You see like this.
Those racist bastards.
You see like the camera zoom in as like Pop's foot like comes down and just like smushes, just crushes the dice.
Advance!
And take like 5 more steps. They're probably like, I don't know, 50 feet away or so in the corridor. They probably even set up like, I mean, like part of the wall is missing and shit. You know, there's quite obviously like wiring and stuff that's exposed. And the one in the back says,
Just hold it right there. We're not part of your military or whatever. We're civilians, okay?
You are in military space, designated unsafe. It is our job to make sure that all personnel, according to paragraph 3.1-4B of the Personnel Security Code, that all personnel are moved away from dangerous area.
What?
I want to crush them.
Advance!
5 more steps. And as you do, the guy in the back, you see like he reaches like into the wall, like into some of the exposed wiring and stuff, and he just like he pulls something. The lights go out in the corridor, and you can hear some like shuffling about. You feel like you get pelted with something. It makes a sort of kind of sound, and it feels kind of like a tennis ball or something. You flick on your headlamps or whatever on your suits, and you like look down, and you can see there's just like this kind of like half-eaten. It's probably like a half-eaten orange or something. They're just kind of like sliding down your uniform.
I look down at that and I kind of run my hand down and squeak it off onto the floor. And I sigh and I say, now this was a bad idea.
You like look up, the kids are gone. Kids are all gone.
I look at Pop. Where did they go?
Check the walls! Spread out! Formation open hand!
I'm gonna go to directly where he. I am one to follow orders, so I go directly down my lane of the open hand formation and check the panel.
Okay. Yeah. So like you like look inside and you can see, basically there's like crawl space. There's like access tubes and stuff that are beyond the wall. They purposely picked this corridor because there are like access tubes that were exposed.
Those little shits.
Yeah, from the debris. Yeah, they're gone. You don't see hide nor hair.
Oh
of
my
them.
god. Pop, where have they gone? I do not see anyone.
They've gone into the access tubes. Everyone, pick a tube and follow. Stay in communication. If you find any, lowest stun setting, bring them in.
Wow. Yep. I'm going for it. I'm going to go down the tube that I'm closest to with my comms open.
Okay. So yeah, you start crawling through the tube. You can hear some like laughing, just like
Stupid. Edgelords rule!
and yeah, and I think let's take our first break here because it's been an hour. And we'll come back in just a few minutes and find out what else the Edgelords are gonna do to screw with the Marines. We'll be right back, everybody. Stay tuned for some more Turn or Warped. We'll be right back in just a few minutes. Stay tuned.
Edgelords rule!
Marines drool!
Oh.